Stream is up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're up. We're live. It's another episode of Are We Allowed to Question That? And for everybody who's here for the first time, the number to contact the show is 234 902 1912. Or you can email us at omallysadventure@yahoo.com. That email is in the process of being corrected right now. So that should happen sometime this week. Hopefully, the powers that be at Yahoo. Sometimes the internet's a crazy place. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, so on this episode of Are We Allowed to Question That? We're going to talk a little bit about the sitting vice president and the Democratic candidate, Kamala Harris, on some remarks she made. And I'm going to play a video clip for you here. Hold on. Can we roll that on 2?
Legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible.
Okay, I'm going to read that real quick. Quote, just because you legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible. End quote. So I have a couple things that I want to touch on a little bit here as far as maybe some constitutional issues. So first of all, let's go to the Bill of Rights. You can read along. You can find a copy of the Bill of Rights pretty much anywhere. So anyway, the Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Pretty self-explanatory. We do have the right to defend ourselves and to bear arms. Now let's look at the Fourth Amendment. Fourth Amendment. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Now, I'm not sure, well, I'm kind of sure that they teach that in law school. And I'm pretty sure that she was a lawyer due to her past resume. So my question is, where does that quote come from? Because maybe we're taking something out of context. That's the longest version of that clip I can find. And if I am taking it out of context, I would love to know the context attached to it. Because that, well, let's read it one more time. Just because you legally, so you haven't broke the law, legally possess a gun in the sanctity of your locked home, Fourth Amendment specific to your home, doesn't mean that we're not going to walk into that home and check to see if you're being responsible. That would, I'll let you play with that one inside your own squirrel cage. Leave something in the comments, maybe, or leave me a link to something if I'm missing something with that, because that does seem odd, especially coming from an attorney. Um, I'm almost sure we're supposed to question that. Anyway, that's the piece for this evening. Again, try to be civil in the comments. If you leave a comment, please do not delete it. Leave it up there. Maybe somebody else has something they want to say as well. We can engage in dialogue and figure some things out. Anyway, so for today's quote of the day, yes, I'm prepared and I've done my homework. Quote, do not be afraid of work that has no end. End quote. And that, my friends, is Scott Harrison. And he did a really neat podcast with Rich Roll. I'll go ahead and give him and his podcast a plug. Go ahead and listen to that one. Interesting conversation. Even more amazing quote. But that, my friends, is a wrap. I'm going to do one more next week. That one's going to be a little bit longer and a little more detailed. And that one's going to be about the Patriot Act. So stay tuned for that, because I'm going to attach that to a meme that's circulating. And I promise you, I will tie all of it together, and we'll question why that's still in place. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, that, my friends, is a wrap. Again, appreciate everybody for joining me. Leave something civil in the comments, and until next time, stay sharp, keep a tight shot group, and rock on. Peace.